Tony, what would I roll to see if anyone's acting suspicious?
Insight.
Investigation? Insight. I'm going to take a lucky. Not much better. All right, past that, Valdu would, recommend that everybody checks their bags.
Okay.
Seems quite pissed that something like that would go missing.
Okay.
I go through my shit, make sure all my stuff's there.
Orin shrugs and turns out his bags he gets.
I toss my bag for Valdu to inspect.
Valdu would not inspect the bag. He would pick it up, walk it back over, and hand it to him. And say, I have accused no one, nor do I have a suspect.
I don't know. Bomir's being pretty shady, not just going through his bags.
I mean, yeah, I'll go through my bags.
Yeah,
Now we will.
Right?
So,
Mage called him out.
Sully, you find you are missing 3 of the glowing crystals. You, Bomir, find you are missing 2 of the aforementioned glowing crystals. And Durandon, you find you are missing 1 potion of healing. No, I think I might hit the wrong button. Sorry. So, Bomir, you find you're missing 2 glowing crystals. Durandon, you're missing 1 potion of healing. Sully, you're missing 3 glowing crystals. And you, Orin, are missing 2 potions. I'm sorry, 1 potion of invisibility.
Bullshit.
Alright, go through your troops, just make sure everyone's accounted for. Tony, are there any Zentarum missing?
There is no one missing, and they're all willing to turn out their bags. They don't have what you're looking for.
Valdu would, of course, ask, if they're missing anything. His people. When you said they're all willing to turn out his bag, you mean all the people of all the groups?
Correct.
Okay. Valdu would ask the Enclave if they're missing anything.
It doesn't appear that anybody is missing anything. They have said that it looks like the food has disappeared a little quick, but it's been very small. I mean, it hasn't been noteworthy at all. It hasn't been like massive amounts of food. It hasn't even been a full meal.
Are the Zentarum missing anything?
No.
Anyone know if the show guardian's made of what? Well, no, if he had got into it, I'm sure someone would have noticed.
Really? Like 12-foot guy walking around. Excuse me, can I see your bag?
You're right.
And is no one else in the entire company saying they're missing anything?
None of the expedition other than you 4, 5 are missing anything.
Tony, not that I'm questioning anything, but the glowing crystals are inside my bag of holding.
Correct.
You can steal shit out of a bag of holding when it's on a person without knowing what you're looking for. Because you put your hand in there and you have to think what you want and then it comes to the surface, right?
Correct. You can, but you can also look in there.
Okay. Just saying.
It is very difficult. It wouldn't be something that someone could just wander up on you, say, "Hey, that looks like a bag of holding. I'm gonna." Someone would have to be aware. That makes
Okay.
sense.
Fair enough.
And actually, before I completely forget about it, are we able to locate the bag that we're sending the sword back to the Zentarum with?
You have. Someone has it. I wasn't tracking where it was at.
As long as we have it.
Hey, I'll be right back. I got to get Samantha some Tylenol.
Has
So
Orange
all
Little,
of us are missing something.
Has Orange Little Invisibuddy seen anything?
He's gonna have to do that. On the other note, I made chicken cordon bleu the other night, Daniel. Like actual chicken cordon bleu with the hammer and the smashing of the chickens, and
It's fun, isn't it?
it was. And after I smashed them, I even cooked them and took their feathers out.
You're welcome.
You smashed them before you took the feathers out?
You know, a joke is like a frog. If you dissect it and explain it, you understand it better, it's just not funny anymore. It's just dead.
Was it tasty, Tony?
It was. It was very thirsty.
Good.
Did you do it inside like ham or?
Yeah, I got some. Me and Eddie went to the store, and I got some ham and chicken and Swiss cheese, and I used a cast iron after I got it all rolled up and breaded and so forth, and then I cooked it in the cast iron for, I think, a minute and a half on each side just to get it nice and seared, and then I baked it for 15 minutes or 10 minutes. I just took the whole cast iron and stuck it right in the oven.
They're surprisingly easy to make.
Yes, they are, and they're really fancy.
If you really want to have some fun, grab like some Parma ham and feta cheese. I mean, like play around with the combinations.
I may do that indeed.
You know what else is easy to make?
Shake and bake.
Babies.
And I helped. Not with the babies.
What? Eddie, talking about taking one for the team.
Sounds like somebody took the plastic off.
Right? What was the question? I'm sorry.
Has your little Invisibuddy seen anything?
Let me ask him real quick. He has not seen anything. Do you guys hear me?
I heard you.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
So, Tony, all I'm missing is the wand.
That is correct.
So let's make a little list here. Wand, glowing stones. What else was it?
Invisibility.
And no one is missing. Now, we've been in a battle since we've seen the Mind Flayer, right?
No. We came straight after these guys, after the Mind Flayer, because we were tracking these guys to get, and we ran into the Mind Flayer.
Okay, so somebody mentioned something about setting up an outpost here. You're 8 days from Mantle Dareth. Travel days. So if you want to, you will have to overcome the issue of, if you want to supply it with troops, of the Brown Mold Passage, which would require travel back. But it's up to you guys how you want to proceed.
Well, we know how to kill it now.
That is true.
How long exactly would it take to set? Well, I guess we're not still not in a hurry, really. I'm not opposed to setting up an outpost here.
This is the next big area.
It seems like a pretty decent place.
So,
Probably take
Talking-
us longer because it's not pre-set up.
if you're talking about time, you'd be dealing with a substantial amount of time. The common sense, I would presume, would be that you guys wouldn't be sending back a small group of people in order to recover any or to get more troops. It's just you guys are pretty deep now. So if you were to send troops back to clear the brown mold passage and then bring forward troops, you're from the outpost you guys set up last, you are a 10-day and a half. You are 15 days from your last outpost. So to get there and back, you're looking at a full month to get this set up as an outpost. Now, if one of you, some of you would have to travel back, and it wouldn't be random encounters. You've already cleared this area in the very recent past. But you'd be a month spent here. Some of you staying and fortifying, some of you traveling back.
No
and
way,
then bringing troops forward.
we would have to pass back by the Demon Lord, though, wouldn't we?
You'd have to pass back through those passages, but that Demon Lord was on a side passage.
Okay.
But yes. So it would require an investment of time. That's up to you.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why we were sent down here. Let me see something.
Is somebody doing math?
I'm just looking at, trying to see if I have a spell that'll help. And I don't.
I actually was doing math, but unrelated.
So we got 30, it's 30 days there and back. Probably won't have any small encounters. I mean, that's one of the reasons we came. Yeah, we're still coming down here to fight the Demon Lord and all that stuff, or to figure out the information, but I mean, this is also a part of it, is setting up the outposts. I mean, we can say screw it and do the last 8 days to Mantle Dareth, but that's going to be a huge, there's not going to be stops along the way type deal. I mean, we've already done, 20 days? Setting up the other one.
So I said 15.
Okay, 15 days setting up the other one? Not 15 days from the other one, 15 days setting up the other one.
I don't know how long it
I
took
thought
us to set it
I
up.
thought it was 20.
It would probably take us longer to set up this one, though, just like I said a minute ago, because it is not prepared.
But you'd have a full 30
Yeah,
days.
you have a full 30 days to get it set up. Anybody can do that.
Well, I mean, if it would help us to do things, then yeah, I mean, let's set it up.
Do you have either Shapestone or a freezing spell, a cold spell?
I should. I know I have a cold spell, but I don't know if I can cast it in a little area. Give me a second.
let's work under the assumption that you have the ability to both of you have the ability to kill it or circumnavigate it. The question here is, do you want to spend the time?
Put it up
I'm
for a
okay
vote.
with it.
You guys can create votes.
I'll do it.
I didn't tell you to put up the vote, ass clown. I said, let's
Just
put it
let
to a
me
vote.
know.
Okay, so anybody besides me gonna go see Guardians of the Galaxy this Friday? Part 2?
I
I
might
might go
see
on
it soon.
Sunday.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it this weekend sometime. I just gotta try to figure out. That's
Huh,
3 out of
three.
5.
It's on Primewire. I might watch it like right now.
I'm talking about Volume 2.
Yeah, it's Volume 2's on here right now.
On what?
Like, I'm guessing it's already out in theater. It's gonna be an HD cam. It's not gonna be perfect quality, but
Yeah, I'll wait to see it in theater. It looks pretty good. I don't want to fuck it up by seeing it Haji version.
Yeah, I'm looking
outside.
forward to see it in theater.
I'm not going to see it in theater, but I am going to wait to see it.
Okay, so that's the majority. Every majority of people want to set up the new base.
Yeah,
Someone
you
didn't
didn't vote.
The recorder doesn't count.
Oh, right. I totally forgot about the recorder.
3 blind mice. Okay, so
So, because you guys had the forethought to tell them to start stockpiling troops and reinforcements to stock an additional base, total time you spent about 32 days getting everyone familiar, reinforced, stocked, supplied, and you set up your own happy-go-lucky base. Now, that being said, you are 30 days later, you guys are set up, ready to move out. Is there anything you guys want to do during that time? Develop-wise with the expedition or just in general?
Valdu would, during breaks, I mean, obviously he would have his group help him, but during breaks, he would try to help teach the scouts and stuff about, well, more or less anything on Enclave style. Just more or less bonding. And he would also try to get them to do so with other groups.
I am going to refine some more poison.
Okay. You can do the checks necessary at
How
your
many?
discretion.
How many days?
You have a total of 33 days.
33 days. And how many per day? 1?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up. Let's
thought
work with that.
that's Okay.
Hell, at that rate, might as well just have him fucking percentage. I mean, if he's going to do every day.
Okay, so he's going to do his checks there and work through his own stuff. That being said, I'm guessing the party's looking to head out as soon as they can. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. So everybody reestablishes. Everybody takes the time. You guys used your magic, obviously, like before, to completely fortify this area heavily. New troops are brought up. The area is reinforced, supplied. And this, again, allows you consistent, or at least a line of communication with the surface for anything you need to communicate with. So you travel forward. You travel forward on the 25th day of travel. That's going to be how many days you've traveled out. And you don't necessarily see anything that catches your attention. The Underdark, you are getting towards the Middle Dark. You are starting to see streams in the general area. You do notice There is the occasional area, especially right after you start moving out, that looks like in the last 10 days, probably around the time of the battle, something was flying through here or moving through here and had damaged some of the surrounding area. The flora and fauna are still showing evidence of overgrowth. But other than that, as you travel through, it's pretty arduous travel. You guys do have supplies and things like that, but you don't have anything disturbing you, especially with the way you guys have set up and scouted the area. You do travel the 25th day and the 26th day and 27th day without any disruption. The one thing that is of note, as I said, is there's more and more streams. You guys hear more and more water in the area, the tunnels. Around the 28th day, you come to what you presume to be an offshoot from the Dark Lake. Those of you who have traveled the Dark Lake more than others, the area is a tunnel that is completely flooded. It's flooded from a side tunnel, the main tunnel you're traveling down, and a side tunnel branches off and has washed out completely. So this tunnel has flooded into your tunnel. But what it has created is an area that is difficult to travel. And the obviousness that you guys aren't going to turn around, you are able to travel, but it just makes it difficult. The water is flooded. You do travel the majority of the 28th day. I'm assuming you're handling that poison there, Sully. I gave you the guidelines. I'm sure you're just working with them.
Yeah, I'm good.
So towards the end of the 28th day, you guys do find a little raised shelf that's pretty large. There's 3 or 4 of them in a small area, and you're able to rest and take a rest there. And you guys are soaking wet. You're having to tie ropes to move. On the 29th day, you travel about a half of a day. And as I've said previously, the Underdark seems almost devoid of the standard life. The everyday scavengers in the Underdark are gone. The things you're seeing are powerful creatures such as the Bahir and the Chasmi. But about halfway through the 29th day, you do come across the flooded tunnel that you've been walking in. It varies obviously in depth, ankle deep, up to waist deep, depending on whether or not the terrain in the actual tunnel is dipping. But as you guys do come about to the end of the flooded tunnel, and it butts up against what looks to be a small portion of the Dark Lake. There is a sandy outcropping, much like you saw when you were in the Kawatoan settlement. There are a forest of the large mushrooms. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of them. Zerkwood. There we go. Large Zerkwood mushrooms, as well as numerous other types of mushrooms growing in an area about 400, 500 feet across. But ahead of this small little outcropping, of this small lake, you do see a tunnel that extends off of this cavern with the lake in it, about 800 to 900 feet across the lake. So at this point, you found yourself on the 29th day, 2 or 3 days out from Mantle Dareth. You've reached, traveling through the tunnel that was flooded for a day and a half. You've reached an area that is a flooded cavern, and you guys have a number of mushroom forest area, and you have to decide how to approach this at this point.
Got a map of it, or just?
I do not. This is just a visual, a mental description.
So is this like a is the beach like a crescent, or are we gonna have to go through the lake to get to the opening?
You're gonna have to cross the lake.
Okay, and it's only like 900 yards across, 900 meters.
Roughly 900 feet. But the tunnel extends further out as well, so you don't know if that's flooded or not. You don't know if it's like you've been traveling down a tunnel that's flooded up to your ankles, knees, waist, or how deep it is.
Well, I say, you guys want to get Zirkwood, make some boats?
Sounds good to me.
Boating is fun.
Hey, it worked out so good for us last time.
So well.
My character doesn't know any of that, so he's okay with boating.
Right?
Warren didn't care. Let's do boating.
Okay, so give me a couple nature checks with advantage as you work together to craft these boats out of the Zirkwood.
Who's got the higher nature? Warren?
Yeah.
And the question is, are you cutting down the Zirkwood and building, log rafts? Or are you just using the mushroom cap as a boat? What are you doing? How are you planning to propel this boat? These are the general questions I got for you.
I'd say we make like the like rafts, like deep, good, well made rafts as opposed to just the mushroom heads, and use and make paddles too. So we can all paddle over there.
Okay, so you guys are all paddling over. You guys build the boats. How are you traveling? The boats, how are you bigger? Let me ask this. How big are you building the boats?
How many people do we have total, guys?
I'm more interested in the party. How big is the party building their boats? But yes, I also need to know how many boats you're building for the expedition. I was going to ask that next.
A big ass floating fortress.
Well, we need to make sure we can get it into the tunnel.
You always got to make sure you can get it in.
I know. And sometimes it's a tight fit, and you just gotta, put grease on the sides to go in. But
Giggity.
Is your lizard going into a boat?
Please,
I
play
can-
the lizard.
I could dismiss him.
Pansy.
okay, hold on a second.
You guys can put as many people in a boat as you want. It may or may not work. I'm not a boatologist.
Boatologist. You mean a sailor?
No, I'm in a boatologist.
I say we put 2 in a boat.
Well, hold on a second. Before we do that, I'm gonna do a little recon. Okay. Oren gestures to himself and lifts off the ground, and you see him go speeding across the water over to the other cave. You enter that cave. Excuse me. He goes in a little bit, and next thing you know, like literally maybe 10 seconds later, he comes spinning around and flying right back to the rest of the group. When he lands, he tells everybody that about 60 feet into the cavern the water level on the cavern is like 2 foot from the ceiling. So it's washed out. I don't know if there's another way to get around it. We may have to backtrack and try to find another route. But that's where we're sitting right now.
I mean, it's 2 to 4 feet. It's
Yeah.
You could be in a boat, not standing up, but you could be sitting in a boat and travel down that tunnel.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's flooded the fuck up, and I mean everybody who's got riding lizards can just go along the side of the wall or whatever, but we also got to think of if we're using this to do a like we've already set up 2 relay stations. How are they supposed to get past this point unless they chop down we decimate this forest and 2 or 3 crossings, and then what do we do then?
I say we try to look for another way around.
How far back was another crossing, Tony?
It was pretty far back. This tunnel, all these tunnels look to be traveling downward with streams traveling. If you wanted to travel back to the last dry tunnel, it'd be about a 4-day backtrack, and you don't know how far around.
I would ask the Zentarum, the guides that are leading us to Mantle Dareth, is there another way to get to Mantle Dareth, or do we have to go through this tunnel?
The Zentarum representative says that this route to Mantle Dareth does require a water crossing. It depends on the season. It's at times less treacherous, at times more treacherous. This particular route does require a water crossing.
And how many trees are around this area? The Zerkwood?
Quite a good deal. A couple hundred.
I say let's just do it.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're gonna do people who have mounts, just ride the mounts, and then everybody else in the boats.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, sounds good. I can let somebody use my. Well, no, I forgot. I can only go so far on my flying mount. Yeah, I ride my lizard.
Okay, so you guys are wanting to put who in what boats? How big of boats?
I'd say 4 people per boat. If they have mounts, they ride their mounts.
1 person from each faction in a boat,
Yeah,
and then just bundle or add up if we need to at the end.
yeah.
Okay. And who's in boat 1? I don't need names of the expedition. What players are in boat 1?
Well, us players all have.
We all have,
mounts.
yeah, sticky-footed lizard mounts.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, we all have one. Even if you've used them for a pack mount and you're walking, you still have one.
Okay. To travel, for the ideal of simplicity, the lizards can travel, but you're not going to be able to ride on top of them without having your head underwater. You can be in a boat and have the lizards riding reins and have them around with you, but the water is pretty close to the ceiling. For if you're on the back of a lizard and it's running, you're going to be underwater.
Good thing I got water breathing.
There you go.
No. Let's just keep the same marching order we have. Eddie's in the first boat and his lizard running on the ceiling while he's holding the reins. Or even pulling us. I mean, that would help with having to worry about paddling so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just go in that order, just the combat order.
So let me pull up the order here. So you want Sully in the first boat. Do you want anybody in the boat with him or just him? I mean, other expedition members, any other players?
I'd say we split them all up. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, just one person per boat from the party. It's not like we're going to be stretched out, 300 meters while we're going across. We're going to be pretty much tip to stern. That's right. Put the tip in the stern.
Nut to butt.
Nut to butt.
Might as
baby.
well tie them together. Just, you know,
However
be
we
careful.
roll.
Okay, so you guys spread out the expedition members and the boats with you. Who is in what boat? I got it marked here. Let's make this public. You don't need to see it. It doesn't really matter. Just in case you were curious what I wrote down. I got some other notes. You guys start paddling across, and you travel down the tunnel. You have to duck at some points. And you start traveling down the tunnel. It widens out, or climbs up, I should say. At some points, it widens out. At others, it narrows down. And I need a perception check from Sullendeer, please.
Hang on. Yeah, I'll take the first one.
Okay.
See anything?
Not really. So, you guys are traveling. And are the boats tied together?
Sure.
Yes.
Outstanding. So,
That's gonna make it real easy to kill everybody.
So this is how we're going to do this. Up ahead, you guys eventually, because you're all tied together, and so there's not really any huge enjoyment from, or any huge advantage to having someone way up front, and that perception check wasn't too wonderful, but it was wonderful enough that you do see that the Dark Lake area turns into rapids ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it in enough time to be able to take some actions. You're far enough down a narrow tunnel. You're about 2 hours down a narrow tunnel. You simply, if you guys want to try to steer a paddle off to the side to stop your boats, you can. And if that's what you want to do, let me know, and if you want to steer off to the side to try and stop yourself from reaching the actual rapids, that's fine.
Is it like 100 feet of rapids, or is it just like outright a mile of rapids, or, you know, what are we talking about here?
You can't see. It's at least 60 feet of rapids.
Okay, I can calm 100 feet of water.
It's not going to help, and you're not going to be cast. By the time you get this spell cast, you're going to be moving.
So do you guys want to pull over real quick, formulate a plan, and then go through?
I think we have to.
Yeah, and I think if we're all tied together,
You all have to succeed, or you're all going in.
yep.
I need a dexterity check, DC 15. It is made at. It's just going to be the player in each boat's going to make it, and if everybody makes it, you can pull off to the side. Well, you're not pulling off to the side.
Using a lucky. Oh boy, okay,
So
I'll just
you
stick
guys
with the
start
first
paddling
one.
for the edge, and you are all tied together. So Valdu helps you guys into the rapids. If you want to roll to see how many of you he pulled into the rapids, that's fine.
Okay, hold on. Just regular dex check?
I was joking, man. You're in the rapids.
What?
I conceded.
I thought we all got a check on ours.
You do, but you're all tied together.
Yeah, but if one person fails, there's still enough people muscling it over. I can
Yeah,
see two
really.
fail, yeah.
Not with that current.
Okay. We're in the rapids, yay!
So here's how this is going to go down.
Orin reaches forward, cuts the fucking rope that's tying him to the boat in front of him.
Good luck,
All
bitch.
you hear is, fuck you!
Okay.
Yeah, you're in this.
So, rule 1 for this fun little escapade. Perception now replaces your initiative. When we are going through this, navigating these rapids, and it's a thing, your perception will determine the order in which you go. Because if the faster you can see things, the faster you can react. If your perception is not high enough, you will not get around. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. We're going to be tracking a couple different things. I'm going to give you guys your options. Some of your options for controlling the boats is going to be you can steer, and I'm going to put them in here. Do you guys have that note all there?
No,
I
see
don't.
Shit.
There it is.
Okay.
So I wrote down other as an option there if you choose to do something ready in action. Take an actual action. That's perfectly fine. So this is how we are going to go with it. We're going to be tracking speed, and I'm going to have a number under each boat. You can type, I'm not sure if you guys can actually edit this or not, but we're going to be working with actual speed. So as you enter the rapids, Durandon's boat and Valdu's boat, you want to go ahead and roll there, Bomir? See if you get you're part of the problem. You don't have to. You're welcome to. We can just assume you're part of the problem.
I'll assume.
So you're good. We're
I'm
going to
not.
be tracking speed. Every boat is going to start with a speed of 20. I'm sorry, with a speed of 20 miles per hour. So, my first question to you, as you enter the rapids, are you going to remain tied together?
Hell yeah.
We need the Three Musketeers, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't like being tied together anymore, so no.
So Sully cuts the line. I have Felicia's.
Right?
He's
Orin already
self-serving
said that.
fuckers.
Well, y'all can still be connected, but I am no longer connected to y'all.
Alrighty. So the action, you will be obviously as you're going into these rapids, you're going to start picking up speed unless you're making effort to stop it. So we're going to be taking some action here. So is anybody else cutting the rope from the other boats, or are you all staying tied together minus Sully? Okay, so everyone roll a perception check for me, please.
Lucky.
We could tie ropes to our sticky foot lizards and have them hold on to the ceiling. Hope
Oh,
we
you
don't
just
rip
hear
their
the-
fucking feet off.
I'm pretty sure they'd let go before that happened.
Alright, there you go. There's your order. Let me extend this recording note down so there. So, as you guys travel, you enter the rapids, and you start to pick up speed. Your speed goes from 20 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, and then 60 miles an hour. As you pick up speed, you come down, and as you hit the bottom of the major rapid, you hit a counter current that pulls your speed back by 10 miles an hour. So your speed here at the bottom of the initial fall puts you at 50 miles an hour. Now, understand, if you're going to be attempting to exit the rapids at any point you see, you're not going to be able to accomplish that by going extremely fast. The faster you're going, the bigger penalty you're going to take on seeing obstacles that are coming at you. So, as you hit the bottom of the initial rapids, you do pick up enough speed and then slow down.
Quick question. Since
Yeah.
I'm at the end of the order, do I see what the other people are doing?
At this point, there's no order anymore. The boats are jostling. You guys are getting thrown around. One of you may hit, have to see some obstruction. You have to push yourself to the side. You guys have, already entered the rapids. And once you've entered this, there's no... You guys have long since lost the ability to maintain your order.
I could try to freeze the water. Be a very fucking sudden stop at 60 miles an hour.
So, now that you guys have reached the into the bottom of the rapids, I'm gonna keep the perception checks you guys have. I got them listed there.
Oops.
As you come out of the little dip, you seem to be swirling slightly, and you notice that as the river's climbing, and that's the main reason why you guys have lost 10 miles an hour, is at this point you guys have a choice on what you want to do. You can try to steer at this. There's not a whole lot you can steer away from at this point. If there is a complication or an obstruction, you could try to steer away from it. You can try to slow your boat down, or you can prepare or take another action. Is there any action you want to take as the boat starts climbing up a slight incline in the current pulling you up?
Individually?
Yes, per boat, but yes, individually.
If we're going up an incline, I don't think slowing down is a good idea.
We're still going 50 mile an hour. It slowed it a little bit. So I mean, the current still really chugging, Tony?
Oh yeah, it's definitely chugging,
Yeah.
but it's not hurting you or anything like that yet.
Yeah, I'd like to try to slow down.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Just go in the perception order, Tony. So what's Valdu doing?
Well, if I'm not gonna try to freeze the water or anything, then I guess slow down.
Okay, so to slow down, I need you guys to give me a strength check to see if you can slow the boat down against the current.
Would it be an advantage?
It would not. Everyone's relying on your strength checks.
Except me, I'm relying on my own, right?
Correct. Well,
I'll keep
were
my
you by
first one.
yourself?
Yeah, I cut my rope.
No, in your boat. I thought you had some expedition members with you.
Oh, yeah. Woohoo!
You think the Zentarum would have warned us about this?
Possibly. That's something you can ask them about. So, as you are traveling, let's see, Sully and Bomir, you don't seem to be able to get the oar to cooperate very much, and it doesn't seem to be able to slow you down. You give it a good college try, and as you reach the top of the rise at the river, you do catch a momentary glance over the edge as this tunnel empties into another cavern. Over the edge, you see that the river dumps into a swirling decline, and each of your boats go over the edge of the event horizon. And you notice that the river just has a sharp decline as each one of the boats starts to pick up speed. And towards the bottom of the river, you notice that the section narrows and starts forcing the water into a narrow section of 3 tunnels. So you have tunnel 1, 2, or 3 that you can attempt to steer into if you desire. But your boats are picking up speed as you fly down.
I'm going to ask the Zentarum in my boat which way.
They don't know. They're following the map, and they don't usually take this way. This is the worst they've ever seen the river. They've never seen the river this bad.
Oh, okay. So none of this is in Tarim, no? At least to my boat?
Not the way to navigate this instantly. It's, I mean, it varies depending on the circumstances of the environment.
Well, let's pick a direction and go.
Everybody trying to stay together?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I am, yeah. And behind tunnel number 1.
Okay, I need some... If we're all trying to steer into tunnel number 1, I need a round of dexterity checks to see if you can successfully steer your boat into the correct tunnel.
I'll take the second one, using my first lucky, even though I've rolled like fucking 15 times now.
I'll take my first lucky.
Okay, give me 1 second. See if we can get some. Get some underwater music here.
Bloop.
It's not very loud, is it?
I don't like how you said underwater music.
That's what it's called. You'll be okay. Unless you die, then it probably won't be okay.
Under the sea.
I was waiting for that.
Darling, it's better down where it's wetter?
Take it from me.
This is the greatest Dungeons and Dragons group ever.
Let's see. Plastic wrap. Never mind. We all know.
Ooh, that's a good sound effect. The zombie shark roar. Let's go with that. Okay, so you guys are cooking along, and Valdu and Durandon, Sully, and Orin managed to all steer themselves. I missed. Why did Orin roll twice? My apologies. All 5 of you managed to steer yourselves into the appropriate tunnel. So you all fly down that tunnel, picking up speed along the way. The rapids are throwing the boats every which way. You're being jostled, doing your best to keep from hitting the walls, hitting the ceiling when appropriate. And up ahead, you notice that there is another climb in the river. What is your guys' plan to now?
Slow down.
Alright, okay, so what you do see ahead is a large boulder sitting directly in the middle of the river.
You don't want to try to snag it with like a rope or something?
I'm gonna try to steer around it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
Steer.
Okay, so for steering around, we're going to need a dexterity check for you to attempt to navigate your boat around the rock.
Lucky.
Did you have lucky? You did.
Shit. I'll take the first one.
At least it doesn't count against you if you take the first one. That's what makes it worth it.
Everybody starts jostling out of the way, pushing against the current to try and get out of the way. And just as the nature of it, everybody's close together. Durandon's boat smacks against the rock. Doesn't jostle anything loose, but it definitely knocks a good deal of you, including Durandon, prone. And I'm going to need another round of perception checks. This time I need yours at disadvantage, Rondon.
I'm awake now.
Apparently, I'm not.
Damn.
Might as well just stay with the frickin' first one. Second one ain't no better.
Alrighty. So, Sully is the most visually perceptive creature there is. And ahead, after it dumps you into the tunnel and you bounce off a rock, or Durandon bounces off a rock, the water dips slightly and then starts to climb steeply over something that's large in the water. It glows beneath the surface, but your momentum carries you over the object, but doing so slows your boat down dramatically, and it reduces your boat's speed by half. So a good chunk of you are moving about 60 miles an hour. And we're rounding down for the half, just for the record.
Any idea what the glowing thing was?
I
Nothing
rolled a
in-
nature check and I ain't got nothing.
So as you guys are traveling, sorry, it just popped my ankle. You guys are traveling down. You go over and you reach a section of the tunnel that you're in where you notice that the rocks are pushed off to the side, or at least stalagmites that have been flooded are lessening up, and you guys are able to look ahead and see if there's anything that's in your way or a threat to you.
Are we still going 1560, or did that drop?
I apologize, it doesn't sync very well.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you for that. So, as you guys are traveling, you're able to see ahead, and a side river, you notice, joins the tunnel. Another tunnel touches this tunnel, dropping in it a flood of water. And as you see it ahead, you're able to guesstimate that it's probably going to throw you forward.
I just thought about something. We have a gigantic 13-foot tall boat anchor.
What?
He's
We
talking
have-
about the shield guardian, no.
What do you mean? No, it can't drown.
Yeah, but he's gonna be trying to hold minimum of 5 boats being pulled up to 30-35 miles an hour. He's just gonna get drug along behind us and get banged up even worse.
He's healthy by now.
Yeah, but he's still gonna be drugged behind 5 boats going at 50 to 60 miles an hour.
What's a shield guardian weigh? And we're not going 50, we're going 20.
Now we're going 20. As soon as we hit that water, we're probably back up to 50.
I'm just saying, what's a shield guardian weigh?
I don't know, a couple 100 pounds?
Tony?
Couple 100 pounds would be accurate.
It's pretty light for a big ass machine.
Couple 100 pounds, 400 or 500 pounds. That's not very light.
A couple.
And it's also magical.
Multiple hundreds of pounds. How's that?
Hundreds of. I like it. I don't know. I mean, I think at least having him hold on to the boat that he's in, then like dragging his hand across the wall or the roof might do something.
That's probably how we're getting some of these saves. So, I'd say we slow down even more before we hit those rapids. Try to keep our speed low.
Are they rapids, Tony, or is it just...
So you guys came over a little incline here. Something glowing. It slowed your boats down, and you're still moving at a good clip, 20, 30 miles an hour. But up ahead, about 200 feet, you see another side tunnel that has water moving at a great rate of speed pouring into your tunnel. So once you reach that point, that current's going to grab your boat.
What about
What does prepare do?
Prepare gives you the option to
Clench your
prepare
hands.
themselves for a complication, allowing you to take advantage on the check against a complication such as a rock or anything that you see.
the elementals? If they're destroyed, does the stone they come with get destroyed, or when they get destroyed, does the stone just like pop back in your hand? How's that work?
No, they don't get destroyed. You have to go pick up the stone.
Go
Can
ahead,
anybody
summon that
summon?
stone. Summon that stone on your fucking boat. Bloop.
Can anybody else summon them outright other than me, without the use of a stone?
Brother, right now I don't even think you could probably summon them. Going down rapids, bouncing around.
Hey, I'm at least trying to think of things here.
We are thinking of things. What should we do with the next part of the rapids? Slow down?
I attempt to slow down. I think that's a good idea.
There you go.
Okay.
Same thing here.
Same set of strength checks to reduce your speed.
I use my second one, Tony.
Got it. Okay, you guys pull your speed back, all of you successfully, and as the current grabs you, it throws you forward about 10 miles an hour, and I will adjust as we move. And you tear forward, the boat's picking up speed, and now I need a set of perception checks. I don't believe anybody prepared. So all
I thought I
add
did.
regular. I'm sorry, I missed if somebody who prepared. You had a choice, prepare or slow down.
Yeah, I thought I prepared.
I must have missed that. I'm sorry. So you prepared. I'm going to put your speed up, Durandon, to 30 because I gave you the credit for the slowdown, and I need the perception at advantage.
I'm taking my second one, meaning I have one lucky left.
Okay.
Tony, will you update the speeds?
I am. I'm just waiting on one more roll.
Okay.
I really wish it updated automatically. I blame terrorism. So everybody picks up 10 miles an hour. And ahead, Durandon, you are able to see, before everyone else, let's check this here. We got Valdu. Oh, 3 times. Oh, that's a strength. Okay. So everybody's able to see it. I'm missing Bomir's. You with us, Bomir?
Oh, sorry, what did I forget to roll?
Perception, please.
Ah.
You did good, kid. So everyone is able to see, except Bomir and the people on Bomir's boat, that the river drops a good drop ahead. And so your boats go over. It's not a waterfall, but it is a pretty steep downward drop. It makes a nauseating vertical drop for several seconds before making a hard landing in the pool below. And it pretty much drops your stomach out from under you. I'm going to need a wisdom save. A wisdom save to avoid becoming nauseated from the sudden, unexpected drop. Bomir, I'm going to need you to do it at disadvantage.
Shouldn't it be Constitution?
It is wisdom. It's to keep your equilibrium, not your ability to not vomit, or to resist something physically.
Resist the urge to vomit?
Right, but this is equilibrium as opposed to physical endurance.
You know, Bomir, it makes me increasingly happy that your rolls are as shitty as mine are, consistently.
So, Valdu and Sullendeer, you both are able to keep your stomachs as you have a sudden drop. And let's see, we got a 6, a 4, and a 10. You, Orin, get a little nauseous. You're going to take a -2. Roll me a d4. For 2 rounds. Durandon and Bomir, the expedition members in your boat, have to take over as both of you fall prone and vomiting on yourself. Roll me a d4 each, please. The two upfront combatants, Durandon being an occasional upfront combatant, are vomiting and unable to hold their lunch as the rapids throw them around the boat. So you guys are at the mercy of the rapids.
Awesome.
Well,
So as you guys move forward, your boats enter another narrow tunnel that scrapes against the side walls. It's causing the moss there to light up. The moss along the tunnel starts sending beautiful shades of green, phosphorescent. Eddie, help me out. Phosphorescent? Is that right?
Yeah, phosphorescence.
Phosphorescence and purples and pinks and beautiful colors. As you scrape against them, you start spinning, bounce a little bit here or there. While disorienting, it's not drastic enough to cause any issues, but it does slow your boats down dramatically, reducing your speed by 20 miles an hour each. But, I'm sorry, 10 miles an hour each, my apologies. That puts the majority of you at a reasonable speed. The bouncing off the walls and so forth. Valdu, your boat is actually pretty controllable at this point. You're moving at a slow speed. And this tunnel lasts about 80 feet as you bounce off the walls here and there. And as you come out of the tunnel, you notice that your boats are moving at a reasonable speed. Off to the right, you see a beachhead, another area that has been raised out of the river, and it extends off into a tunnel. So you can attempt to steer in that general direction if you desire.
What check would it be?
That would be a dexterity check.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Hold on.
Yours is a -2.
Mine?
Just reminding you, get simpy.
Am I taking a disadvantage on this?
Hold on.
No, Durandon and Bomir are taking a non-option on this, and you guys are going to continue down the river.
Well, they're attached to.
They are. They are attached to Valdu, and those are you. All three of you are connected, right?
Nisali is the only one that is not connected.
Yeah, I thought I was the only one that wasn't connected.
My rope snapped on the way in. Sorry.
So Valdu, Bomir, and Durandon are connected.
I believe so.
Alrighty. So, Sully, you and your compatriots steer your boat successfully onto the beachhead. You guys wedge your boat onto the gravel, and you guys are out of breath, shaken up, and you turn around to see the other boats doing boaty things, such as still in the water.
Does anyone in my expedition have rope?
I mean, there's rope everywhere.
I throw rope to one of the other boats.
Which one?
The closest boat to me.
Give me a D4. Let's see. Let's say it this way. We'll go in the order of the pictures at the top.
Okay.
Orin, give me a ranged attack. Not you. Sully for your boat.
You want a ranged attack?
I do, just to see if you can successfully. I'm assuming you're using some type of.
So, dexterity plus proficiency?
Sounds about right.
Okay. Hang on. Let's go with the second one. I use a lucky.
Okay, and I need a dexterity check from you, Orin, please.
Come on, Orin. That's not horrible.
Yeah.
15 was the requirement. You managed to grab the rope and give me a strength check at advantage for both of you. Or, I'm sorry, one of you, for both of you pulling, is what I meant to say.
What's your strength at?
Mine's +1.
Okay, I'll go for it. Mine's +2.
Okay. Hey, that's not bad.
It's like old ladies fighting over something in a grocery store.
I know, right?
Pretty much.
So, Sully, you managed to pull Orin's boat, and Valdu, you did a great check, but it was not sufficient to paddle all 3 boats over to the edge.
Vadu, being a team player, does not cut the rope, just keeps trying.
Okay.
Oh shit! So that wasn't the group.
No, Orin's not attached to the group.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
he said he cut his rope and you threw it to
I did not
him.
say I cut my rope. I
Oh,
said
you
my
said it
rope broke.
His rope
This is different.
snapped.
My rope snapped.
It snaps when you cut it.
Silk, people, silk.
So
As
Can-
Sully and Orin stand on the gravel shore, waving as Valdu tries to paddle the vomiting Bomir and
Valdu,
Durandon.
throw us a rope, man.
All right.
You have a chance.
Can I have
You're
a
in.
chance? Do I have a chance to throw them a rope?
You made your action choice to steer. Your choice at this point is cut the rope or not cut the rope.
I do not
This
cut
is
the rope.
Sophie's choice. Eddie got it.
Wow.
I don't know what Sophie's choice means, but I know you're in the river.
Watch the movie.
What's the movie? Sophie's Choice?
Yeah.
Yeah. 100% chick flick.
Now I know why Matt's seen it.
Because I'm happily married for 18 years.
It's true.
As they go flying by us, I look over at Sully.
So-
Well,
Like, Tony, did we really have to have this encounter after my weekend?
I didn't make this up for that. By the way, Eddie literally lived this encounter this weekend.
I did.
Wait, what?
Let's
I-
put it
I
this way. Eddie's tent was at point A. Eddie left point A because someone said the river's rising. Eddie's tent was later found at point X because the river said, I would like to take this tent, plus all these other tents. Let's move them a couple.
Yeah. So at 12:30, at past
I'm going to
midnight,
use the restroom while he tells this story because it's enjoyable
yeah, we get a mess. We,
and appropriate.
the ground security comes out because we're camping, and it's like, hey, the creek's rising. We have really bad weather coming. We're really not sure how this is going to play out. We really suggest that everybody that's in the lower field, evacuate to higher ground. And so we were told this once, and we were like, absolutely, let's get the fuck out of here. So we go in, Jackie, she's a friend of mine, we go in her car, and we go to higher fucking ground, and we sleep in the car all night. We wake up at 6:30 in the morning, and we open the car door, and we hear a woman screaming, help, help. And so the main road of the campgrounds that we were on is basically what is happening now. Like, water is rushing and pulling shit, and the creek bed broke its bank, like over-flooded. The water table rose. I mean, there was flooding everywhere. It was ridiculous. There was water up to our knees, and lower field, there was water up to the waist for some people. It was really bad. Like, we were forming chains to get people out of the water, and yeah, so
Eddie knows how to save at least one of you.
like some guy had to be cut out of his tent. which is just insane because it picked him and his tent up and was carrying him down the river.
I'm sorry, if I get somebody coming up to me at a campground and going, "Hey, the river could or the creek could flood. You guys might want to get to higher ground." I'm striking my fucking tent and everything in it and going to higher ground.
Well, it was torrential rain, so we didn't really know what was going to happen. So we were like, it's just shit. It's just stuff. I don't give a shit. Let's just get the people with us to safety. So we just grabbed a pillow and a blanket, got in the car, and drove up.
Sure.
So
See, now I'm kind of curious as to where that guy got a tent that he had to be cut out of.
well, it's because the rushing water was picking up stuff and moving it around, and the door of his tent was on the underside, was towards the ground basically. So he didn't really have a way to get out of his tent. So somebody had to use a knife and cut a door.
I think he's talking about the waterproofness of that tent that allowed it to float downstream.
That's a pretty durable tent.
Well, I'm sure there was water in there.
REI.
The water had to have been going like 20, 30 miles an hour. It was ridiculous.
All we got here was wind.
Oh no, we got it bad.
We got snow.
You only got a wind over there?
Yeah, that's all we got. We're on the top of the fucking mountains. All we got was wind.
Dude, we got the shit beat out of us over here.
So yeah, I lived this encounter. It was great.
Nice.
Not really.
Alrighty. So,
Let's roll.
you guys are traveling into a tunnel. Let's see what we get here.
Well, again, Oren looks at Sully and just kind of like questioning, like, what do you want to do?
Do you want to go after him?
Well, if not, then some of us are going to make it, some of them aren't.
The Zentarum tells you that all of these tunnels do eventually empty out near Manteldera. So you guys can travel on foot, catch up with them, and then now that you've reached through a good chunk of the rivers, you can hike on foot and catch up with them, but they're on their own till they get to the
So
empty out.
do they
Stopping
empty
place.
out in the same cavern, or are we going to have to explore and try to find them?
Oh, they empty out in the same cavern. It's a major outlet of the Dark Lake.
Oh, well, I say we just walk and catch up with them then.
Okay.
That's my vote. I mean, if you want to do something else, I'm fine with that too.
Oren's not going to leave you by yourself. You'll probably die.
Okay.
So, us and our boat crew would beach the boats and then head out. Eddie?
As they start walking away, as I'm drifting downstream, between vomits, you hear, "Fuck you!"
I hate
all-
you so bad.
And all you guys hear over the nice, gentle, caress, since it's not really rapids here, is Oren saying, "So I think we need to find some more people for our party." You guys are just lucky there's not a cliff here. I'm sorry. It was too quick. I was joking about that last one.
All right.
1 second. Alrighty, so you are floating down this river. It picks up another 10 miles an hour for each of you who are still in the water. And as you exit this tunnel, emptying into a larger cavern that is all draining into two separate tunnels towards the other end, but they're not draining extremely fast. You're moving a good 20, 30 miles an hour, but I'm going to need a round of perception checks from everybody who's not decided to not get back in the river. Then, of course, this is after you three, or those of you who puked, are able to regain yourselves and clean yourselves up at least a little. I mean, there's no shortage of water.
I
Open
would
up-
look back, ask them if they're okay, and then look forward again, looking for whatever it is I rolled perception for.
I need a perception from Bomir.
Yeah, I opened up the Dungeon Master's module and it's slowing down. You might have to roll for me unless this goes through. Give it like 5 seconds.
We're not in a big hurry.
I opened it up a while ago, so it's probably
Dungeon Master's module is really weird like that. I'm not sure why it's like that, but it is. It's just that one from what I've seen.
You can go ahead and roll it for me this time.
I like that
think
you
just 'cause
specified this time. You did good, kid.
Jesus.
So does anybody have a
Dude.
preference of square boats or circle boats?
Not really.
Let's go with some circle boats.
Hey, look, we got a new DM, John Bard.
I bought these specifically for this encounter. And other.
I guess let's go with square boats.
All right, so I'll go with 2 squares and a circle. You guys can feel special. And since you were nice enough to not cut the line,
Mine snapped.
no one's talking about you. Why are you feeling guilty?
Yeah,
I'm
really.
not, but when you said there, since you were nice enough not to cut the line.
Now, hold on. Who specified yours snapped? Was it you or was it Tony? Right.
The line snapped. The line snapped.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, you guys went down the river too quick. You didn't have a chance to do your insight. My bad.
I'll point something out, guys. That's the second time that's happened in a week. You guys are welcome to listen to any of my game recordings if you guys can see my other campaign. But I went back and listened to it. In our other game, another player, Natasha, my girlfriend, stuttered Matt. It was the first time I've ever heard Matt get stuttered.
Yes, that is correct. Tonight wasn't stutter. I was laughing too hard to push to talk through it. That's what it was.
Uh-huh.
Matt's character is a female, and my girlfriend's character is a Goliath, and apparently she made some comment about wanting to get inside her tent, and you could literally hear Matt on the line. He goes, oh.
I was trying to figure out a way to. Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way to let down the giant 7.5 foot tall, 300-pound Goliath without, because I was like, I wasn't prepared for her to go there, so I was like, did she really just?
It was
Okay.
enjoyable to listen to.
And nobody made a snoo snoo reference?
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Yeah, but it's the girl had to be big to be Snoo Snoo. The girl's tiny. Like my character's like literally like 4'8", 4'9", like almost
You
minimum
got something
height.
for midgets there, don't you?
No, she's just a small female.
All right, so as you are traveling, make sure I read that right. Did I grab the wrong one? No, I didn't. I did grab the right one.
Great, Demon Lord's gonna pop out.
A strange alien-looking creature that is resembles a bulbous brain with a sharp beak and 10 tentacles, are made of hundreds of ring-shaped muscles sheathed in tentacle fibers.
Oh my
Drop
God.
from above onto your boats.
Shit.
Way to go, Eddie.
You're the one that went along with it.
I'm a follower. Is that the brain people?
Brain trust.
I'm adding them. Let's get this one and this one. Two per boat dropped from above. And they lash out with their tentacles, attempting to take advantage of the passers-by. The other creatures in the boat are going to be giving you the +2 to damage. We're not going to just drop them everywhere. But this battle is between you and the Grells, is what they're known as. And at this point, some of the boat members are actually trying to keep the boat from capsizing. So I need some initiative, actual initiative.
What is happening?
We're dying.
Valid.
It's like the 5th or 6th one Bomir's rolled since we started.
It's ridiculous.
Tony, is there any way that my character could have been in a different spot on the boat when this happened?
Yes, you can put yourself anywhere you want.
Is that a good enough spot where you accept that?
Sure. I mean, you can put yourself anywhere you want. Everybody's going to get to react in the order of their initiative. Have you changed your dice color? There.
I
Chris?
have.
Is it fuchsia? Because fuchsia's working well for me.
I have no idea what fuchsia is.
I don't either. I just saw it on an Imgur thing that said it was auto-corrected to fuck weasel. And since then, I've always used the word fuchsia because as soon as I say it, I think fuck weasel, and it cracks me up. Eddie, what color is fuchsia?
It's like a purpley pink.
There you go. So,
I love how he instantly goes to the gay guy. What color?
I mean, it's not wrong. I mean, that's where you go in that situation.
This is true.
alrighty. So,
I mean, because most straight guys are like, yeah, that shit's purple or pink. Or just, we don't fucking know.
so this Grell moves up and attempts to converse with Bomir about the inappropriateness of traveling its river. It gets 2 attacks with its tentacle, one with tentacle, one with bite. And neither connect.
Now, 10-foot jumps are free, right?
No, not when you're on a jostling river on a boat being attacked. We're going to call that an athletics check, or an acrobatics check if you prefer.
Can you just do dexterity?
No, I can do an athletics or acrobatics check.
Acrobatics is dexterity.
Oh, right, okay. Valdu attempts to jump over to Bomir. Well, his boat, anyway.
I'll be right back.
Bomir runs away. Oh, no, was that, no, never mind.
Alright. Grell number 26 attempts to smack you with its tentacle
Oh, right, attack of opportunity. Lovely.
and misses.
Sweet.
See, the rest of the party members in your boat are gonna fucking die because you just abandoned them. Way to go,
Oh,
Druid.
fuck.
See,
Damn
the
it.
Druid
It's
shaded
too
shit
late.
Druid's all like, I'm out here. Fuck you guys.
Rope! Cut the rope! Cut the rope!
It's Tony,
I mean-
can I
I
change
mean-
my mind here? Come on now.
Let the rope snap.
Tony, let me get back over there, damn it. I was not thinking. Valdu would not do that.
But he
Thank you.
did.
I'll let you do that one. You gotta pay attention.
What are you on about? That was a beautiful jump.
It was a beautiful jump.
It was, dude.
You
It's
could.
funny.
They were amazed with the speed at which they were abandoned.
Fuck you, I'm out.
Fuck
Oh,
this shit, I'm
fantastic.
out.
Alright, I'm gonna turn around and shillelagh the hell out of this thing right in front of me.
Shillelagh him. a hit.
Is the music lagging for y'all?
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Let's just shut the music down for now and go to some combat music. See if we can get it going again.
Sounds good to me.
Alrighty, Durandon. They land on your boat. Your people are steering and trying to help you as best they can. But they rely on you to put down the grells.
So we don't get our +2s right now, do we?
You do get your +2s right now. Did you miss it?
Yes, I did miss it.
I added it.
Thank you. In my defense, I've been up since like 4 this morning.
What was that, Durandon?
Is it +2 to hit or +2 to the attack?
Damage. Here, give me 1 second. Let's do it this way. That's a hit.
That's just special.
Did more damage than me.
Give me 2 seconds real quick to find something, and I'm going to make your lives easier. I'm going to try and put an effect on you guys to see how it works. Bomir, you're my guinea pig. But, in the interim, this Grell reaches out with its tentacles and snaps at Valdu, attempting to cause him great harm, or at least minor harm, of some type of harm. And due to Valdu's armor class, is unsuccessful.
Haha.
The other Grell manages to smack Durandon with a tentacle, and you can feel the poison off the tentacles coursing through the cuts, but you manage to shake off or physically resist the poisons as these creatures seem to attempt to flank you. And Bomir, your friends would like to have a discussion with you. Okay. Bomir, if you don't mind attacking one of them, I want to see how this damage comes out.
Call lightning would probably be a very bad idea right now.
No shit.
Not to mention you're moving, so you wouldn't be in range of it very long.
Oh, that's true.
What's your normal plus?
It is +8. Apparently. I mean, would it have changed it in my sheet?
It says effects +2.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it was a damage +2. Roll an attack for me one more time. damage. Okay. Gonna have to figure that out before next game. Let's drop that back down. But it is getting late, and this is gonna probably take a little bit. I think I wanna stop the game here, even though we're in the middle of battle, and pick up here on the rafts next week. Anybody have any objections there?
Fine,
Not on.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty damn tired here.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm getting pretty tired too. Everybody is. So we can have the game end right here and see whether or not, when Sullendeer and Orin reach the end, whether they have anybody left to pick up.
If they reach the end.
Let's see. Hopefully everybody had a good time. We'll see how the game goes next time.
Sounds good.
Anybody have any questions,
good.
comments, concerns, or complaints?
Nah.
Really like the way that whole raft thing is going.
Really enjoying it, or you're liking it?
I'm liking it. I mean, it's enjoyable. It's a great great little adventure.
Good. As long as unless your rope snaps. You can't see the air quotes, but I'm making air quotes.
The rope snapped.
I'm having flashbacks.
Sure.
Eddie's got
Poor Eddie.
PTSD.
Right.
By the time we start next game, I will have up the effect to add damage automatically.
Next, Eddie's gonna be having nightmares. Need to go to a fucking therapist. Like, I would have
had-
drowned.
I had a nightmare the night before last.